It was until Vladimir Putin sent his army to crush Ukraine's democracy and its people without any reason. I used to believe that we, the societies of the world, are probably moving towards a state of mind when we will start to introspect ourselves to see if we are racist, hateful, fascist, manipulators, even at the small and unconscious conscious levels. Just to clarify, I use the word no reason here because I believe Ukraine is a sovereign nation and has the right to decide her alliance with anyone. It has always been my belief that one day we as individuals will have non-violence and harmony within ourselves. The reason I had been thinking about this is that societies are gradually trying to address climate change and sustainability. These efforts, however, were motivated by survival fears and not by the deeper values, because the greater and sincere value of harmonic equality is not seen in these efforts. My understanding is that these goals cannot be achieved without non-violence and harmonic equality. Individually and as a family, we have been unable to achieve a harmonious equality within ourselves. Thus far, how can we live with harmonious society in societies, or harmonious equalities in societies, nations, and greater societies? As long as Putin did not actually attack Ukraine beyond the verbal and non army war threats, I was thinking that although we as individuals, families, and communities are far from the harmonic equality status, but if we as nations and larger societies were able to move towards harmonic equality, even tiny a bit, one day we as individuals and families will reach out as well. The actions of Putin are guided by the mental states of ego and fear of losing control, as well as racism and hatred. It is racism if someone does not follow us according to what we think is right in our minds, or someone does not follow us for other similar reasons, such as we think we are superior and others are inferior, therefore we think they must follow us. I call it neo-racism. Many of us are addicted to neo-racism and we enjoy it at different levels. The point is that only one person can cause damage to the family, the community, the society, the nation, the whole world's order, even the planet. Ukraine's crisis is unfortunate, but it also gives a great opportunity for introspection, and we can realize that there is no way forward on our journey towards the harmonic equality, sustainability, and climate change without changing ourselves. Honest introspection, many of us are racist, hateful, manipulative, cruel, cunning, deceivers on an individual, family, community level, similar to Putin. This is why we choose our leaders like Putin, who are unconsciously our mirror image. Through them, we can justify ourselves and they justify themselves through us. When the big threats, big dangers come, we start to oppose them, we debate, criticize, but even at the last, we don't intend to reflect on our own behaviors and actions. Many of us are like Putin, a miniature version based on the labels. The label could be a family or a company or a community or a state or a nation or even a greater one, maybe a planet. Many of us share similar attitudes and mentalities with Putin. The only difference is the level and the status of power. As long as we do not resolve ourselves inside, our word will be continuously at stake. Any one of us could reach a level of power that could make them think that if I don't exist, then why should this planet exist? An orderly, good-looking world can turn into a big turbulence with the blink of an eye Many of us think the same way. Why should a family exist if we don't have control over it? We can take family as an example. There are many families in the world, in every society, every nation, every civilization, where one or both of the partners wants to control, create falsehoods to control, manipulate, tricks. The situation is okay if the other person accepts control out of love or helplessness. But if control is opposed, then disaster strikes. If control is maintained, then the couple continues. Otherwise, they separate. They do not care about their children. They care about their egos, their fear of losing control, their superiority, and similar other negative characteristics or things. Regardless of right or wrong, their families and friends that stands with them, it is deceptive, shameful, and superficial to do this in the name of familyship. This is what people like Putin do. In the same way that we don't care about our own children, he doesn't care about the deaths of others because he is self centered and afraid of losing control. He is okay only if Ukraine accepts his superiority. Otherwise, Ukraine will be destroyed by him. In other words, it's like separating families or living under one roof, not as a family, but as a permanent or temporary or occasional or a few hours daily flatmate. These types of examples can be multiplied. Putin could simply stop his actions, apologize, and resolve in his mind that he will never do these things again, despite being very simple, certain, and very simple actions, such as apologizing sincerely, cannot be done because people are afraid to lose control and ego. There are many people from us, like Putin, who make blunders, mistakes, even many times intentionally too, that have a negative impact on the lives of others and even on their loved ones. Yet they never admit their mistake and never sincerely apologize because they fear they will lose control on others if they do. People like Putin are not the only fascist. We are fascist too. We are governed by the fear of losing control and are willing to do anything to keep our egos and control intact. There is no doubt that people like Putin commonly use the word excuse, please, thank you. There is no doubt they smile at others too. They do not shout and tell their children to share their toys with their friends. However, the essential question is, are these people polite, nonviolent, and sharing? I say no, they are not. We build these parameters to cover up our hollowness. These parameters are fake, superficial, and mechanical. We cannot live with harmonious equality, truth, honesty, thoughtfulness, wisdom, and without micro neuroticism and sincerity at the family level. How could we hope that we could live with harmonic equality as a larger society? We are engaged in war during a time when we should be working together on issues such as climate change and sustainability to make the world better for our children. Now the question comes to whether we could make the world war free and move towards harmonic equality. I say yes. We can certainly make the world a better place for our children. Many of us, it might seem like a utopia, but there is no other choice. We need to start today so we can get to tomorrow. If we truly want to make this world a better place for our children, if we truly love our children, then we must reflect on ourselves. We must understand what parenting and family mean. We need to work on ourselves. We need to work on our parenting priorities, which have been based on consumption, providing luxuries, comforts, and neurism. We do need to tell our children that the world is not to be taken for granted. We need to tell them that we have been making blunders for generations. We have defined many things wrongly, we have understood many things incorrectly, and even some of our mistakes are very dangerous. Children should not always learn from us. We should tell our children about our hollowness, superficiality, lies, and weakness instead of planting a false notion of our goodness in their minds. Then our children will able to see beyond the conditionings or unconsciously learn from us. Our role is to help them become strong and visionary. We should not teach our children fakeness, superficiality, manipulation, lies, and deception, which we teach them through our actions. They need to know this is not the right way of living. They should try to find the right way. And the only way they can do that is if we tell the truth about ourselves. It is difficult, very difficult. But this is the only way to make the world a better place for our children. Being honest and truthful always leads to good things. Thus, we must introspect ourselves and resolve micro and invisible negativities. The learning of conditioned and copied parenting so that we could sincerely play our sincere role in the larger cause of sustainability, peace, and harmonic equality. Only then we will be able to say no war. I hope that we are all with Ukraine and the world is with Ukraine. I hope we still have time to reflect, to change. We could only hope it is not too late. Thank you for listening.